Hello everyone, and welcome to the Room of Requirement. My name is Megan, and I have over 25 years of occult and esoteric study and practice. And today we're going to be going into Intro to Astrology Part 2. If you have not seen Part 1, I suggest you go back and watch that one first. It's going to get just more and more advanced as we go along, as Part 3 and 4 come along. So I'm going to be discussing the decans of the Zodiac in this particular video. And then we're going to get more advanced in 3 and then 4. So it's designed for you to watch Part 1 first, then 2, then 3, then 4. In 1, I talk about the importance of astrology and how important it is to make that part of your practice, because there's some basic foundations. Like, when I'm a mentor, so when I teach my students, the elements, numerology, and astrology is the first things that I start with. And I explain in depth how important astrology is to learn, because it helps you to understand more advanced teachings as you go along on your path. So make sure you check that one out. So like I said before, I'm going to be doing the decans of the Zodiac. This is going to go into a lot of more esoteric type astrology once we start getting into the decans. The decans, I can go a lot more. If you guys are interested in that, I can go over each meaning of each decan. There are 36 decans of the Zodiac. So if you guys are interested in that, just drop it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you do. It really helps the channel grow. And also make sure you like the video and comment, and it really helps push out the video to everyone. I'm really hoping this channel will grow and help as many people as possible. This channel is all about free learning. This is completely free to you guys, and if you're interested in any kind of magical path, the esoteric, magic, astrology, alchemy, anything to do with any of that, this channel is really going to help you learn. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so Zodiac decans. In astrology, the decans are 36 segments of the ecliptic that consist of 10 degrees each. They are usually used in order to divide each of the 12 signs of the zodiac into thirds. The decans originated in Egypt, where they're originally associated with the 36 specific fixed stars. Later, when the Egyptian and Mesopotamian astrological traditions were synthesized around the 1st century BCE, the 36 decans were merged with the 12 signs of the zodiac. After the 1st century BCE, two major systems of ascribing meaning to the decans arose in the astrological tradition. So we're going to be discussing the Chaldean order method of decans. The first and apparently older method is to assign one of the 7 visible planets to each of the decans based on the Chaldean order of the planets. This method is frequently used in traditional Western sources from the 1st century through the 17th century CE. Okay, so what the decans are, this is a little confusing when you're first starting out. But this picture on the left, I have all the 12 zodiac signs, and then each one of these 3 little boxes in each sign is a decan. So it's split into 3 different sections. So each degree is 10. So depending on someone's birth date itself, depending on what that number is, as opposed to the first all the way to the 30th or 31st, you're going to fall into one of 3 decans, and those are each ruled by a specific planet, and they have meanings of their own. That's how you can have 3 different Libras. So you have someone with the same sign as a Libra, for instance, but you can have 3 different categories of Libras, and this goes for each one of the 12 zodiac signs. Okay, so the assignments according to the method are as follows. So this is going to make a whole lot of sense to you at first, but okay, so you have Aries. The first decan is going to be ruled by Mars, the second is the Sun, and the third Venus. For Taurus, first decan is going to be Mercury, the second is going to be Moon and Saturn. For Gemini, it goes Jupiter, Mars, Sun. Cancer, Venus, Mercury, the Moon. Leo, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. Virgo, Sun, Venus, Mercury. Libra, first decan is going to be Moon, second decan is going to be Saturn, and the third decan is going to be Jupiter. Scorpio, Mars, Sun, and Venus. Sagittarius is going to be Mercury, the Moon, and then Saturn. For Capricorn, it's going to be Jupiter, Mars, the Sun. Aquarius, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. And then Pisces, first decan is going to be Saturn, second Jupiter, and the third Mars. Now, this is separate from the zodiac rulers themselves. I'm talking specifically about the decans now. So each one of the decans, like I said before, is going to be ruled by a separate planet, which gives extra oomph and more meaning to the sign depending on which decan that you fall in according to your birth date. So what are the decans? Decans play a significant role in astrology, providing valuable insights and adding depth to astrological interpretations. So we will explore the definition of decans in astrology and understand their importance in astrological interpretations. A decan refers to a subdivision of each zodiac sign in astrology. With the zodiac divided into 30 degrees, each sign is further divided into 3 equal parts known as the decans. Each decan covers approximately 10 degrees of the zodiac, bringing a unique set of characteristics and symbolism to the astrological chart. Decans are important in astrological interpretations as they allow for a more nuanced understanding of an individual's personality traits, physical appearance, temperament, and even compatibility with other people. By considering the specific decan placement of a planet or a point in a birth chart, astrologers can provide more accurate and detailed readings. Origins of decans in ancient Egyptian astrology. The concept of decans in astrology can be traced back to ancient Egyptian astrology, which is one of the earliest known astrological systems. In ancient Egypt, the year was divided into 36 decans, with each decan representing a period of 10 days. These decans were associated with specific constellations, and their movements across the sky were believed to have a significant influence on human affairs. Ancient Egyptians believed that the decans served as intermediaries between the gods and the humans, and their positions in the sky were used to predict various aspects of life, such as weather patterns, crop yields, and the fate of individuals. The decans were often depicted as anthropomorphic figures, with each decan holding a different symbolic object or representing different natural elements. Over time, the practice of using the decans in astrology spread to other civilizations, including the Greeks. So when you get into higher levels of high magic, which I practice, you start working with the 36 decans of the zodiac and their angelic and elemental correspondences. So this is how this ties in to more advanced teachings that you will eventually learn. Influence of Greek and Hellenistic astrology on the concept of decans. The Greeks and Hellenistic astrologers greatly influenced the concept of decans in astrology. They incorporated the Egyptian decans into their own astrological systems and developed additional interpretations and symbolism associated with each decan. The Greeks assigned rulerships to the decans, linking them to the planets and assigning specific qualities and characteristics to each. This astrological system was further developed and expanded by Hellenistic astrologers who introduced additional decans and refined the interpretations. During this period, the concept of decans became more closely linked to the zodiac signs and the division of the zodiac into 36 equal parts. The decans were seen as providing additional nuances and details to astrological interpretations, allowing for a more comprehensive analysis of an individual's birth chart. Development of decans in Western astrology. The concept of decans continued to evolve in Western astrology. In medieval and Renaissance astrology, the decans were associated with specific angels and demons, further adding to their symbolism and significance. Today, the decans are often used in conjunction with other astrological techniques, such as planetary rulerships and aspects, to provide a more nuanced understanding of an individual's personality, life events, and potential future outcomes. While some astrologers adhere closely to the traditional interpretations of the decans, others take a more flexible approach, incorporating modern interpretations and incorporating the decans into their own unique systems. Understanding the decans in astrology. A decan is a division of each astrological sign into 3 equal parts, resulting in a total of 36 in the zodiac. Each decan represents a specific segment of a sign and has its own distinct energy and qualities. By dividing the zodiac into decans, astrologers can give a more detailed understanding of a person's personality traits and life experiences. And this can also be used for predictive astrology too in transits as well. So a lot of times when you're online and you'll see a professional astrologer, and then they start talking about Sabian symbols or decan symbolism and stuff like that during transits, and they add all of these things in. They're looking at the specific decan that it falls in and its meaning to give you some predictive astrology as to what's going to be happening as we're going along. So you see this all over social media. The division of the zodiac into decans is based on the degrees of the sun's placement within a sign. Each decan consists of 10 degrees, with the first decan spanning from 0 to 9, the second decan from 10 to 19, and the third decan from 20 to 29. This division helps to create a more precise analysis of a person's astrological chart. So when you're looking at a natal chart, and you will see a little number, and it has a degree sign in it, and it has a specific planet in it that is at a specific degree. You can even break down your chart even more. If you'll look for these numbers with the degree signs on them, you can look at the degree that the decan or the degrees that your planet placement in is in your specific house, and that's going to let you break down your chart even more. So I've even went in and done it with every single planet that I have going on, even the asteroids like Chiron, Lilith, Juno, Pallas, all of those different asteroids that are in there, including the planets. The planets are most important. So you don't have to do this with just your sun, moon, and rising. You can also do this with your planetary placements, and it'll give you way more information depending on the house. So again, to reiterate from the first time, if you memorize the planetary meanings, the house meanings, and then the degree or the decan that the placement is in, that can give you a very well-rounded idea of what that means specifically to you. Characteristics and symbolism associated with each decan. Each decan is associated with a specific characteristic and symbolism that influences an individual's personality. For example, the first decan represents initiation and is often associated with ambition, drive, and leadership qualities. The second decan focuses on communication, emphasizes intellect, adaptability, and curiosity. The third decan is associated with expression, emphasizing creativity, charisma, and self-expression. Understanding the symbolism and characteristics of each decan can help astrologers provide a more accurate and nuanced interpretation of people's individual charts. By incorporating decan analysis into astrological readings, astrologers can gain deeper insights into an individual's traits, strengths, and challenges. So it really helps to know what your strengths are and what your challenges are. And remember, the goal is to transcend this. If you have something that is challenging for you in your chart, you're going to want to know what that is so that you can learn how to work around that and transcend the influences. This goes back to as above, so below. So if you're aware of something, and the whole point is to expand your awareness about what's influencing you and learn how to use that as a tool to transcend it, that is a part of the enlightenment process as you are going along on your path. So overall, decans offer a valuable tool for understanding astrology on a more granular level by delving into the definition, calculation, and symbolism associated with each decan. Astrologers can provide more detailed and accurate interpretations of your chart, of your individual astrological chart. And you could also apply this to current transits that are going on in your chart, because there's transits going on right now. Every single minute, day, hour, week, month, everything. It's constantly changing. Your birth chart itself is static. That's the default. That's what you're working with. And then we constantly have planetary movements happening. And so that's what the transits are. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But I kind of want to lay down a little bit of foundation for you so that you understand what that means as a whole. Okay, so now we're going to get into the zodiac signs, and I'm going to get into each decan. Now, these are very brief definitions. You can look up whole paragraphs as to which decan that you fall under. So I'm just kind of going to read this off. So if you have your chart in front of you and you look at the degree, then you can follow along with this. That'll really help. Or if you'd like to take some notes, pause this and write things down for your specific sign. But if you're wanting to be a personal astrologer yourself, it's really good to learn all the signs and not just your own. At first, when you're first learning, you're only really interested in what your chart looks like and your specific signs, but your chart is made up of so many different signs that it's going to be best for you to look at all these different things. You don't want to just look at your own, especially if you're wanting to really dive into this and you want to start reading charts for other people. It's helpful to know all the sign meanings, all the planetary meanings, all of that stuff. Just a little tidbit there as a side note. Okay, so Aries decans. So if you're an Aries and your decan falls between 0 and 9 degrees, that is ruled by Mars, and this particular Aries is going to be outspoken, aggressive, impulsive, ambitious, passionate, relentless, and a natural leader. If you're the second decan, from 10 to 19 degrees, that is ruled by the Sun, and they're going to be sensual, fluid, restless, bold, confident, and a natural optimist. And if you're a third decan Aries, between 20 and 29 degrees, that is ruled by Jupiter. They're going to be independent, freedom-loving, a natural student, interested in learning, bossy, and very lucky. Okay, Taurus. First decan Taurus, 0 to 9 degrees, is going to be ruled by Venus. They are the lover of aesthetics, a bit materialistic. They're sociable, charming, and very outspoken. Second decan Tauruses, from 10 to 19 degrees, they are ruled by the planet Mercury. They're perfectionistic, detail-oriented, and excellent communicators, and they're very group-oriented. Third decan Taurus, between 20 and 29, they're ruled by Saturn. They're going to be practical, determined, reliable, loyal, and serious about their relationships. Then we have the Gemini decans. First decan Geminis, from 0 to 9 degrees, they're ruled by Mercury. So they're going to be a quick thinker. They're going to be chatty, sociable, flexible, and a bit scatterbrained. Second decan Geminis, from 10 to 19 degrees, they are ruled by Venus. So they're going to be expressive, attentive-seeking, knowledgeable, opinionated, generous, and goal-oriented. Third degree decans, from 20 to 29 degrees, they're ruled by Uranus. So they're going to be out-of-the-box thinkers, optimistic, adventurous, conversational, and humanitarian. So this is what I meant when I said you can have 3 Geminis, and each one of them, one's going to be a first degree, second degree, and third degree, and they're going to be completely different types of Geminis. Okay, so this is where this comes in. Okay, then we have Cancer decans. First decan Cancers, from 0 to 9 degrees, they're ruled by the Moon. So they're going to be emotional, sensitive, intuitive, good at making decisions, conflict avoidant, and nurturing. Second decan Cancers, from 10 to 19 degrees. They are ruled by Pluto. So they're going to be practical, a bit stubborn, a deep thinker, sentimental, and a great caretaker. Third decan, 20 to 29 degrees, they're ruled by Neptune. So they're going to be creative, imaginative, they're going to be daydreamers, extremely loyal in relationships, but also a bit forgetful. Leo decans, first degree decans, from 0 to 9 degrees, or first decan Leos, 0 to 9 degrees, they are ruled by the Sun. So, and also generally when you have a sign that is from 0 to 9 degrees, you can look at them as brand new. Maybe in a past life they've never been a Leo before, but so they're in this lifetime, this is their first time that they're going to be a Leo. So they're usually going to fall in that first decan. So the farther in you go, like if they're second decan, they're about intermediate, and then a third decan Leo, they're going to carry a lot of weight of that sign. So you can look at it like that as well. So I'm a 0 degree Scorpio, so I fall at the top, right? So I'm just getting into the Scorpio. So I'm going to be much different from a third decan Scorpio because I'm a first decan Scorpio. So think of them kind of like as stair steppers. So the further in they go, the more weight of the sign that they're going to carry as well. Okay, 0 to 9, they're ruled by the Sun. They're bright, playful, charming, dignified, prideful, and a bit egotistical. Decan 2, from 10 to 19 degrees, ruled by Jupiter. They're very freedom-loving, rebellious, they're romantics, they're scattered, and they have a positive outlook on life. Third decan Leos, that's from 20 to 29 degrees. They're ruled by Mars. So they're going to be daring and passionate and impulsive and stubborn, opinionated, and very kind. Okay, Virgos. First decan Virgos from 0 to 9 degrees. They're ruled by the planet Mercury, the planet of communication. So they're detail-oriented, practical, ambitious, and obsessed with self-improvement. Second degree decan, so you're going to have 10 to 19 degrees. They're ruled by Saturn. They're going to be very focused, determined, a bit standoffish. They like to plan everything, materialistic, and a bit of a people pleaser. So my moon is in Virgo, and I am decan 2. So if my moon is in Virgo, that is how I am at home, not in front of groups of people. That's how I like to operate. That's how I express my emotions in my moon sign. And it happens to be in the second decan. So how I'm going to express my emotions is going to be very focused and determined. I might be a bit standoffish. I might want to evaluate things. I really like to plan everything at home. I like to get everything in structure. And I'm going to be a bit of a people pleaser, so I'm going to want to keep the peace. So that's kind of how you would think of that. Like your sun is your default, your moon, so that's like your ego, your personality. Your moon sign is your emotions, how you express things at home, and then your rising sign is how you operate in the world. It's what people think you are when they first meet you. Okay, so this is how this is so layered, and you can get so much information. Third decan Virgos from 29 to 29 degrees. They're ruled by the planet Venus, which is a planet of love and beauty. So they're going to be artistic, warm-hearted, mature, generous, loving, shy, and timid. Then you have the Libra decans. So first decan Librans from 0 to 9 degrees. They're ruled by the planet Venus. They're going to be a lover of luxury, beauty. They love to be in love. They can be jealous, and they need to make a statement in life. Second decan Librans from 10 to 19 degrees. They're ruled by Uranus. They fight the status quo, are very original, determined, a unique thinker, and they love to stand out from the crowd. Then you have third decan Librans from 20 to 29. They're ruled by the planet Mercury. They're social butterflies. They're fair and balanced. They're an excellent mediators, and they're great storytellers, and they can be a bit vain. Okay, Scorpio decans. So first decan Scorpios from 0 to 9 degrees. They're ruled by the planet Pluto. So the planet Pluto is all about death and rebirth and transformation. They're dependable, loyal, extremely committed to people. They're unlikely to change their mind, and they're secretly romantic. Second decan Scorpios from 10 to 19 degrees. They're ruled by Neptune. So they're going to be selfless, daydreamers, romantics, impatient, and moody. Third decan Scorpios from 20 to 29 degrees are ruled by the moon. So they're highly intuitive, popular, sensitive, cunning, and they're driven to succeed. Sagittarius decans. First decan Sages from 0 to 9 degrees. They're ruled by the planet Jupiter. They're optimistic, adventurous, independent, non-committal, and lucky. So for instance, Sagittarians, they are a fire sign. And they love their freedom. They don't like to be tied down. I call them the hippies of the Zodiac. They're going to be the first ones to kind of travel in a bus somewhere, like across the U.S. They don't like to be tied down. They require a lot of freedom. They don't like needy people, things like that. So, and then you can add the layer of the decans on top of that, and that's going to give you some extra layering to the flavor, the essence of what Sagittarius is. So, optimistic, adventurous, independent, non-committal, and lucky for the first decan. Second decan Sages from 10 to 19 degrees. They're ruled by Mars, so they're going to be very disciplined, dependable, a bit controlling, humorous, and loyal in friendship. Third decan Sages from 20 to 29 degrees. They're ruled by the sun. They're a hopeless romantic. They're charming. They love new experiences and meeting new people, and they're known to be quite impulsive. Capricorn. First decan Capricorns from 0 to 9 degrees. They're ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is a planet of structure and restriction and constriction. So Saturn is a challenging planet, but there's a lot to be learned by Saturn. We need Saturn as a structure builder. So if you're first decan Cap, then you're going to be brave, distinguished, glamorous, impatient, and a bit old-fashioned. Second decan Capricorns from 10 to 19 degrees, they're ruled by Venus. So they're going to be more friendly, agreeable, energetic, enthusiastic, tender-hearted, and prideful. Third decan Caps, 20 to 29 degrees, they're ruled by Mercury. They're going to be highly inquisitive, thoughtful, mysterious, poised, and quite vivacious. Aquarius decans. Okay, so first decan Aquarians, 0 to 9 degrees, they're ruled by Uranus. They're going to be defiant, individualistic, radical, innovative, witty, and a bit eccentric. Second decan Aquariuses, from 10 to 19 degrees, they're ruled by the planet Mercury. They're going to be really chatty, sociable, versatile, restless, spontaneous, and known for their duality. Third decan Aquariuses, from 20 to 29 degrees, are ruled by Venus. They're romantics, they're affectionate, lively, and they crave autonomy, and they're known for their good judgment. Okay, Pisces decans. First decan Pisces, 0 to 9 degrees, they're ruled by Neptune. They're very kind, courteous, creative, imaginative, devoted, and friendly. Second decan Pisces, 10 to 19 degrees, they're ruled by the moon. So they're highly independent, genuine. They can be a bit spacey, heads in the clouds. Pisces are generally like that. They're daydreamers, they're artists. So they're going to come off a little bit spacey. They're going to be very graceful, reclusive, and unique. Third decan Pisces from 20 to 29 degrees, they're ruled by Pluto. So they're going to be persistent, impressionable, empathetic, and a good listener, and they really love a challenge. Okay, you guys, that's all I have for right now. I will have Intro to Astrology Part 3 out next Sunday. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you do that. It really helps the channel grow. I want to be able to reach as many people as possible and give some free learning out to everyone. And also, you guys know that I've told you before in other videos, I am a spiritual life coach and a mentor. I offer a variety of services. You can find my link in my bio of this channel. You can find my email if you have any questions. I would also love it if you would like the video and comment any questions. I'm always open to ideas with what subjects you guys would like me to cover next. But until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.